When people talk about intimacy, they often focus on youth, passion, romance, physical attraction. But many couples discover something surprising as they grow older. The deepest intimacy isn't always found in grand gestures. Sometimes it's found in feeling seen, feeling valued, feeling wanted, feeling chosen, again and again, even after 40 years, even after 60 years, even after wrinkles, gray hair, health challenges, and changing bodies. Today, we'll explore 20 gentle ways married seniors can feel loved, desired, and emotionally connected without forcing themselves beyond their comfort zone. Because meaningful intimacy doesn't have an expiration date. Sometimes the smallest touch carries the biggest message. Holding hands says, "I'm still here. I'm still yours. And we're still walking this journey together." Sometimes, the smallest gestures carry the deepest meanings. After decades of marriage, many couples stop holding hands, not because the love is gone, but because life becomes familiar. The simple act quietly disappears into the background. Yet science and experience tell us something remarkable. Physical touch, even something as simple as holding hands, can reduce stress, lower anxiety, and strengthen emotional connection. Think about the early years of your relationship. Holding hands wasn't just about affection. It was a silent way of saying, "I'm here, we're together." That message never loses its power. Whether you're walking through a grocery store, sitting beside each other at church, or watching television at home, reaching for your spouse's hand can remind both of you that companionship is still one of life's greatest gifts. Sometimes intimacy begins not with grand gestures, but with one hand finding another. Feeling wanted often begins with feeling noticed. And one of the simplest ways to say, "You matter," is to truly look at each other. Long before words are spoken, the eyes tell a story. Many couples spend years sharing a home, but gradually stop truly seeing one another. Conversations become practical. Schedules replace curiosity. Familiarity replaces attention. But eye contact has a unique power. When we look into the eyes of someone we love, our brains become more attentive. We communicate empathy, understanding, and presence without saying a single word. For married seniors, eye contact can become an overlooked bridge back to emotional closeness. The next time you're sharing morning coffee or discussing your day, pause for a moment. Look at your spouse, not through them, not past them, but at them. The face before you carries decades of shared victories, sacrifices, disappointments, and memories. And sometimes a loving glance says more than an entire conversation. Many couples stop saying thank you, not because appreciation disappeared, but because familiarity took over. Gratitude keeps affection alive. One of the greatest human needs is to feel valued, not admired by strangers, not praised by the world, but appreciated by the person who knows us best. Many long-married couples assume appreciation is understood. After all, years of commitment should speak for themselves. Yet unspoken gratitude often becomes invisible gratitude. Simple phrases such as, "Thank you for making dinner," "I appreciate everything you do," or "I'm grateful you're here," can breathe new life into a relationship. These words may seem small, but they remind your spouse that their efforts still matter. No one ever becomes too old to hear that they are appreciated. And in many marriages, gratitude becomes the fuel that keeps affection alive. Physical closeness creates emotional closeness. Sometimes intimacy begins with simply choosing the same space. Physical proximity creates emotional opportunity. Many couples slowly develop separate routines over the years. Separate chairs, separate hobbies, separate corners of the house. There is nothing wrong with independence, but closeness often grows through simple shared spaces. Sitting beside each other while reading, watching a favorite program, or enjoying a quiet evening creates moments where affection can naturally emerge. No special plans are required. No elaborate conversations. Just presence. The comfort of knowing that someone you love is close enough to reach. Sometimes intimacy isn't about doing more. It's about creating room for togetherness. Shared memories remind couples why they fell in love and why they're still together. Memories are one of the greatest treasures of a long marriage. Few people understand your journey the way your spouse does. They remember the first apartment, the difficult seasons, the laughter, the sacrifices, the milestones. Revisiting those memories isn't living in the past. It's honoring the path you've traveled together. Pull out old photographs. Share stories with grandchildren. Talk about moments that changed your lives. As couples remember where they've been, they often rediscover why they chose each other in the first place. And sometimes old memories awaken fresh gratitude. Even after decades, people still want to feel admired. Many people assume compliments belong to youth. They do not. The desire to feel admired, respected, and attractive never completely disappears. A sincere compliment carries tremendous emotional weight. Tell your spouse you admire their kindness, their patience, their wisdom, their strength. Notice qualities that may have gone unmentioned for years. A heartfelt compliment reminds your spouse that they are still seen, not merely as a partner in daily life, but as someone worthy of admiration. Consistency creates connection. Small routines become emotional anchors. Healthy marriages are rarely built by dramatic moments. More often, they are built by ordinary moments repeated faithfully. A morning cup of tea together, an evening walk, a nightly prayer, a simple check-in before bed. These rituals create stability and connection. They become anchors in an ever-changing world. And over time, those small routines become some of the most cherished parts of married life. Laughter creates emotional safety, and safety strengthens intimacy. Laughter has a remarkable way of bringing people closer. It softens tension, it reduces stress, and it reminds us not to take every challenge so seriously. Couples who laugh together often navigate difficulties with greater resilience. Whether it's a shared joke, a funny memory, or a playful moment, laughter helps keep relationships warm and vibrant. Even after decades together, there's still room for joy. Simple words often carry extraordinary weight. In a world filled with digital communication, handwritten words feel increasingly meaningful. A short note left beside a coffee cup, a message tucked inside a book, a simple reminder that says, "I'm thinking of you." These small surprises create moments of connection throughout the day, and often, the smallest expressions of love leave the longest-lasting impressions. Sometimes people need understanding more than solutions. One of the greatest gifts we can offer another person is our full attention. Not advice, not solutions, not corrections, just listening. Many spouses don't need answers. They need understanding. When your partner speaks, resist the urge to immediately solve the problem. Instead, seek to understand the feeling behind the words. Listening communicates respect, and respect strengthens intimacy. Shared joy strengthens emotional bonds. Life's greatest joys are often found in ordinary achievements: a successful doctor's appointment, a completed project, a personal goal reached. Celebrating these moments together reinforces the feeling that you are still a team. And every celebration becomes another memory shared. Doing things together creates fresh memories. Shared activities create shared experiences. Gardening, cooking, traveling, crafting, learning something new together. The activity itself is not the point. The connection created through the experience is what matters. New experiences remind couples that growth doesn't stop with age. Little words often keep emotional warmth alive. Terms of endearment often carry years of history. A nickname can instantly bring warmth, familiarity, and comfort. These small verbal expressions remind us that our relationship remains personal and unique. And sometimes one affectionate word can brighten an entire day. Comfort is one of intimacy's deepest languages. A gentle hand on the shoulder, a reassuring touch during difficult moments, a brief embrace after a long day. Physical comfort communicates safety and support. It reminds your spouse that they do not carry life's burdens alone. Many couples know schedules. Few continue learning emotions. Many conversations focus on events. Few focus on emotions. Asking, "How are you really feeling?" opens the door to deeper connection. Emotional intimacy grows when people feel safe enough to be honest, and honesty creates closeness. Making an effort communicates value. Making an effort in appearance isn't about vanity. It's about intentionality. It communicates, "You still matter to me." Small acts of care often send powerful messages of respect and affection. Relationships flourish when protected from constant interruptions. Life becomes busy at every age, yet meaningful relationships require dedicated time. Even a quiet hour together can strengthen emotional bonds. Connection rarely happens by accident. It grows through intentional presence. Small public displays of affection remind couples they still choose each other. Simple public gestures, holding hands, sharing a smile, walking arm in arm, communicate pride in your relationship. These moments reassure your spouse that your affection remains visible and genuine. Shared hopes create emotional momentum. Growing older does not mean growing stagnant. Dreams continue to matter. Whether it's travel, service, family goals, or personal growth, discussing future hopes keeps relationships moving forward with purpose. After all these years, the most powerful words may still be, "If I had to choose again, I would choose you." Perhaps the greatest gift in a long marriage is not simply that you stayed. It is that after all these years, you would choose each other again. Love is not merely a feeling preserved from the past. It is a decision renewed in the present. Every act of kindness, every expression of gratitude, every moment of patience, every shared memory, they all say the same thing. Out of all the people in the world, I still choose you. And for many couples, those may be the most powerful words of all. Growing older changes many things. Bodies change, schedules change, circumstances change, but love can continue growing, not because intimacy stays the same, but because it deepens, becomes gentler, richer, more meaningful. The goal is not perfection. The goal is connection. To feel seen, to feel safe, to feel valued, and to remember that even after decades together, love still has room to grow. Because healthy aging isn't only about caring for the body, it's also about nurturing the relationships that give life meaning. Love after 60 may look different than it did at 20. It may be quieter, softer, more patient, more intentional, but it can also be deeper, richer, and more meaningful than ever before. Because true intimacy isn't measured by grand gestures. It's measured by daily acts of kindness, respect, companionship, and care. And those gifts never grow old. Love grows best where it is practiced daily. Agewell Collective, helping you age with health, purpose, connection, and joy.